So I understand what you're saying, bro. It's very like, yo, cool. So he go to my guy who's driving. He said, tell him I want him to follow me on Instagram. So I see when he get a phone to our drive, he like, No, he go along with it, you know what I mean? We all sit there. So he like, what's up, bro? He like, man, I'll tell you later. Just eat your food, man. Have your drinks, whatever. So we all get in the van. We ready to pull off. So he like, yeah, man, your goddamn brother, man. He want to make friends with the goddamn IRE. So I'm like, what's that? He like, the goddamn cartel.
You about to turn into one of the hottest episodes of the Climb Back series.
The Climb Back series is here.
We're gonna tell you how to bounce back, turning around.
The Climb Back series.
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 Climb Back series.
The Climb Back series.
We got the Climb Back series here.
Thank you, the Climb Back series.
This is the Climb Back series. Today, the Climb Back series makes a stop at Renaissance Harbor Place, downtown Baltimore, Maryland. And we are lucky to sit down with the Henson brothers. My man Dante and Will sit down and talk about their journey on how they invested and got their own tequila, Los Hermanos. It wasn't always easy. They went through some ups and downs and actually went right to the source in Mexico to create their tequila themselves. Now we're gonna see it in all types of places and locations. Welcome to the Climb Back series. What's good, everybody? It's your man Hef Streams. We're back with the Climb Back series, and it's gonna be a fun episode today. I'm looking forward to this one. Y'all know I like to eat, but today we sipping, and we sipping with some Highline tequila, the Los Hermanos brand. We're gonna talk about it today. We're blessed to be at the Harbor Place in Baltimore, and I'm joined by Will and Dante Henson. What's good, fellas?
What's up, bro? How you?
Man?
What's up, man?
Appreciate you guys for having us. We appreciate you. And let's just dive right on in, man. Los Hermanos Tequila. Tell us about it. Let's break it down. Let's get going.
All right, well, let me start with the name. Let's start the importance of the name. Los Hermanos is Spanish for the brothers. 1978 is when my brother was born, so that's how we came up with the name Los Hermanos. How we started, man, we started in the pandemic. No one had to go to work, so all we used to do is drink. I'll grab a bottle of tequila. Me and his wife, we go sit in the basement, man, tell stories, and we just drink and try different tequilas. And every week I would just grab a different bottle because tequila was really my love. So every time I find a new brand, you know, I would turn somebody on. Hey, man, you try this brand? Did you try this brand? This is good. And they would straight go get it. Like, oh, man, I'm going to go get that. I'm going to get that. So I'm the tequila spokesman, right, man? And at some point, I can't lie. Casamigos, when they had a little hot run, I was caught up on that, too. That was, you know, something different. So my brother was seeing me, and he was like, man, you selling a lot of bottles for those Casamigos. You ain't got no T-shirt or nothing from him, right? So I laughed about it. But, man, in seeing that, this guy had the vision to say, you selling tequila, you pushing the brand. And every time you go put it out there, somebody is following you and they go and get it. So how it hit him, I don't know, I'll let him tell you, but it hit him and he started to say, man, how can we do this? Like, I'm gonna look into it, how we can do it ourselves. So like, he's doing the research, CRT, paperwork, permits and everything. I'm still working a full-time job. He's still working a full-time job. But I swear, man, at the so while he getting the papers together, document, hey, man, look, this all we need, sign this here. I'm signing right on, you know, go back to work next week. Hey, I got this paper, permit, this and that. So, man, he called me one day and was like, bro, I got our flights. We're going to book. We're going to Guadalajara. I found a company that we're going to do it. That's going to do it for us. So I'm like, oh, damn. Like, it's hit me like, bro, it's really putting in the work to put us there. But until we got on that flight, man, and touched down in Guadalajara, get picked up, we riding up to City of Tequila and going to these different distilleries, that's when it really hit me like, damn, we really ready to start making this happen. So I let him check in more on how he doing that.
So let me ask you this question. So you're saying the pandemic happened, so this is recent.
Yeah.
All right. So before the pandemic, just real quick, what did y'all do before that?
I was working for Baltimore City, for City Baltimore for the past 20 years at that time. So that was my full-time gig. Right. Yeah, working for City Baltimore.
What were you doing?
Yeah, I was managing government contracts. Yeah. So like most people in the DMV, right? Like probably like 70-80% of people got government jobs in some kind of way or fashion. So that's what I was doing. I was managing contracts.
Man, that's why I'm inspired, because y'all sitting here right now with a full-fledged brand, a tequila that tastes great. We're going to sip for you guys too. So the pandemic comes, you obviously chose tequila. Why tequila?
I was a bourbon guy first. Like everybody, we grew up Hennessy and Remy, 2030s and all that. But as I got older, I like bourbon, nice cigar, and it goes together. But when I first tried a good high-end tequila, the agave taste, everything, it was different for me. I was like, damn, like, and a good tequila don't get you drunk in the morning. No matter how much you drink, like, it's you can still function. So I just love the Mexican brands.
I agree.
Once I tried all the Mexican brands, man, it was like, we sold Patron, 1800, coffee, all that stuff. And when you go to Mexico, you can't even find those brands because that's not what's happening. In Mexico, they got these Mexican-owned brands, these small batch brands, and they were some of the best tequilas ever. So I kind of been hooked on tequila ever since.
So where did you guys get, obviously the pandemic happened, you decided tequila was the way to go. Talk about the brand itself, talk about the name and where it came from.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. So the name, like my brother said, once we decided that we were going to do a company, I wanted to find a name that it captures what we was doing, right? Because the whole reason that we were in tequila was because just this family time that we had during the lockdowns. Like my brother said, like during that time, that's how we bonded. Like me, him, and my wife, we was always sitting together. So I wanted a family name. And at the time, obviously, Casamigos was taken, La Familia was taken by Jose Cuervo. So, we're sitting there and I was just like, yo, I need a name that captures this family vibe because this is the whole reason that we even doing this. And for people that don't know, at one point in time, me and my brother, people used to confuse us for twins all the time. So like we're out everywhere. People like, oh, y'all twins, right? Even though we're 7 years apart. And I'm sitting across from him, same way I'm sitting across from you. And I just had a thought, and I was like, what's the brothers in Spanish, right? And I put out my phone, I Googled it. And I was like, Los Hermanos, I like that. It's the brothers, it's the play on the Spanish for the tequila. And I was like, yeah, I like that name. And so we took the name, and then we just was like, all right, we just went back to start workshopping logos until we found something. And I commissioned a few graphic designers to do a bunch of different logos and, brought them back to the table. And my brother was like, yo, I like this. He was like, I can see that. That looks like something that you would see like in an old Western or, in a glass, the symbol, da-da-da. And I was like, all right, bet. And so like, while I was good with all the paperwork and putting it together, my brother was like that creative. Like he had the palette to know what a good tequila tastes like. He had the vision to put the logo like this is what it should be or shouldn't be, this, that, and the third. And so like we just was playing off each other to build the brand.
So y'all like the black tequila on Shaq and Kobe, and it's perfect.
Cool.
You got the vision, you got the person with the logistics to put the vision in place. And I see a lot of people that want to dive into this industry, and a lot of people say it's a tricky business. They want to keep us out. You know what I'm saying? Box us out.
Right.
What made you guys fearless to get started is my first question. And then follow it up with what it took for you to get started for those watching who might want to follow your footsteps.
What was the first question?
So how did you go into this fearless, not being afraid to fail,
Right.
because we are on the Climb Back series.
Right.
And second, what were the startup costs, steps that you first took before we get
Right.
into what you're dealing with
Right.
now? So people who are watching can understand what you went through if they want to follow your footsteps.
Well, I always feel though like I got the vision to see things coming the next level and how it can be big, regardless of what it is. Just having that mentality. And I know my brother, he got that. He the guy with the degree, so I got that bagging too, the paperwork, the CRTs, the permits, and what it's going to do proper. So having him, man, it was like it's no reason to have no fear. Like regardless of what, like if it ain't life or death for me, like it ain't no fear. Like whatever we're gonna do, bro, like let's go do it. Like I'm tired of working a 9 to 5, so I'm always looking for a way to be my own boss. So even the fact dealing with him made me say, well, damn, now you're a family-owned business. Now you're a boss. Now you're an owner. Those steps what was driving me. And for the cost, man, we had no idea.
Yeah, like what did it take to get, like me, like I want to do what y'all do, right? I'm
Man.
sitting here watching. What would it
Right.
take for me to just get started? How much capital would I need? Would I need a lot of resources? What's your advice?
So, all right, I want to ask the other question too, because I want to dispel the notion that it was fearless. It's not that it was fearless.
Okay.
It's that you're not going to let the fear stop you. Because again, we had no idea, right? Like when we approached the distillery and the distributors, we had no idea how this industry works because we had no experience. But it was the fact that at that time, we were doing something that nobody we knew have ever done. So like, yeah, there was a lot of times where you don't know what's supposed to happen, where it's going to go, right? But you was like, nah, like you can stop and be where everybody else is, not have nothing, or you can keep pushing forward. And a lot of times, because oh my God, back in 2020, like I had zero patience.
Okay.
Like if I pull up to the spot in the salon, I'm gonna keep moving. I'm not waiting for nothing, right? And so many times in my frustration that, I'm like, yo, never mind, we can wait. My brother's like, yo, you crazy, you can't quit. Like, yo, you at step 23 in the 25 process. Like, you can't walk away now, right? And him and my wife had to talk me down a lot, right? Because I was just be like, listen, I got a comfortable government job.
What
I ain't
part
stressing.
are you speaking on right now specifically that made you want to walk away?
So specifically in 2020, when everything is closed down, everything slowed down because of the pandemic, and it's the same for us and on the Mexican side. So for the time that we went to Mexico in November of 2020, it took 9 months to get our first shipment.
Wow.
Right? And then during those 9 months, we're not really getting a lot of updates on what's happening from the distillery or anybody down there. So, it's me constantly keep checking in, right? And you might get some information, you might not. Or you might get a little bit of information. It ain't satisfying. So after a while, I'm just like, yo, listen, if this is gonna be what it's gonna be, if this is how the relationship's gonna be, we can keep it pushing. Like I ain't gotta keep going back and forth and keep waiting hours, gotta keep checking in.
You just didn't appreciate that the motion was a little slower than you expected.
Right. And if the communication wasn't there. So if we'd had we'd had a regular, a month or two check-in where they'd be like, hey, listen, it's still going. It's just, okay, fine, I can be waiting. But if there's no communication and I have to be the one that keep checking, yeah, that's frustration, especially when you don't know the process, right? So that's where a lot of frustration came in. As far as getting into this industry, really, the entry level it can be reasonable, right? So like you can start with $10,000, you can start $5,000, but you're not gonna go far. What we found during this process is this is a crazy capital intensive business. So like, yeah, you can have 5,000, 10,000, get your company started. You might, travel to Mexico, get your profiles together, get started. But you need, one, you're gonna need a lot of inventory. Two, you're gonna need an importer. Because if you don't know how to do it yourself and you don't have your own warehouse, then you gotta pay somebody, right? And so just to give you a really quick thing, let's say we started this business, we spent $20,000, $30,000. We went down there, we got 500-600 cases, right? Now we gotta pay an importer. So you pay an importer.
Down in Mexico.
Down in Mexico, right? So you got travel costs to getting all down there, right? For you and whoever going down there.
Let me interject real quick,
Yep.
Don't lose your thought. How much capital did you have before you made that first phone call to Mexico?
We started with 20,000.
Okay.
That's where we started, right? And then this is not like 20,000 for inventory. This is everything. Starting to jump for us following the business to get the LLC together. Us, getting the logo. This is all the money we got. Traveling to Mexico because we went down there for like 4 days. Again, dealing with the distillery. And literally, we built the brand up from the ground up. That's one thing I will tell people. Like, we wasn't home during the pandemic, right? And they just sent us something like, we literally went down there. When me and my brother went, only thing we had was T-shirts with our logos on it. We literally sat there with the distillery, developed our profiles, picked the bottles, the labels, telling them how we wanted the paper that they use for the labels, the design, everything. So, tops, corks, we built it up from the ground up there. But again, right, and so you still have to have the inventory. So you got to purchase inventory. You have to hire importer. Importer charges a monthly fee for their services. So at the same time, we come back with 1,000 cases, which we did. I think we came like 300 cases.
So the importer is a person actually helping
The
distribute
importer
beer.
is the person who, all right, so I'm gonna just walk you through the process. It's easy, right? So, all right, for us, once we develop everything, we get it approved on the Mexican side. We get approvals from the federal government and the state government here. Okay, you're ready to roll. We'll pay the distillery 50% up front. Says, hey, here's a PO. We want 300 cases. They said, all right, no problem. A month or so come. They says, your order's ready. We pay them the next 50%. Then we'll go back to the importer. Says, hey, we have this shipment down there that needs to be moved from Mexico to your warehouse. They'll get in contact with the distillery. They'll get all the paperwork come. Now, you have to pay trucking company.
Okay.
So the importer will go out, they'll get quotes from a trucking company of what it costs. They'll send it back to us. We'll approve it. After that, it says, all right, that quote, that looks good. Let's do it. Trucking company goes pick it up, come across the border. It gets, so generally they spend a day at the border. So they'll come up to like New Laredo, Texas, spend a day there, and then they'll come back up to the warehouse. Now, as soon as that order touches down, actually, The old importer, they will front the cost, right? So you have to pay that federal excise tax the day it comes across the border. The old importer we had, they used to pay in today's bills on the back end. The importer we have now, you got to pay that money up front. So you have to have money to get your stuff across the border. Once it gets to the warehouse, all right, so now you're out of money for the whole order. You're out of money for the excise tax, right? And you're still paying the importer monthly. Now, if you have a distributor, if we have 300 cases, a distributor might only come take 50.
Okay.
Right? So they'll take 50 and they pay you on terms. So it could be 30, 60, sometimes even 90-day terms. So meanwhile, you have to have enough cash, operating capital, to run your business while you're waiting for this turnover to happen. So like I said, you can get a shipment, right, and some distilleries have minimums, some don't. But if you have a distillery that doesn't have minimums, you can get an order 300, 400, 500 cases, but that's not going to get you far. So you still have to have, again, operating capital to go. And then once they sell that out, right, which is going to take time, you still got to have enough money to place another order. So what I tell people all the time is what I know now, had I known how capital intensive it is, I think we would have went the route to try to raise some money first rather than trying to bootstrap it. But luckily for us, my brother found Baltimore Community Lending, which is a CDFI.
Okay.
So as soon as we got that, again, we were fortunate. We got distribution less than a month on the market, right?
With Baltimore Community Lending.
Baltimore Community Lending is
Okay.
a CDFI right here in Baltimore that works with business. So when the banks, when you're not ready for a bank yet, when you don't have that relationship with a bank that you can get a loan or a line of credit, these are the people that are lending to small businesses in the community.
Write that down, P.
Baltimore Community Lending, yeah, absolutely.
So I want to bring you back in because you broke down off air the production.
Right.
Because obviously you're the logistics guy.
Right.
And for people who are not catching this, we can replay that because you just broke down a lot of knowledge on it, and I appreciate it.
Right.
Talk to me about your journey when you went to the actual, plant. You were telling me about the agave and the process of actually finding your taste for your tequila.
Well, for a city boy, man, to find yourself down there in Guadalajara, that part of Mexico, was different. That was a hell of an experience to be somewhere where it's nothing but mountains and agave fields on both sides of the road from far as you can see. So that was something different.
In a different country.
In a different country, in that part of Mexico, real Mexico. That's what they say that when you come down there. Because if you say you've been to Tulum, Cancun, they say, bro, that ain't Mexico, bro. We don't like that down here. We down there with the cartel, they wearing jeans and boots, big belt buckles, hats. They say, bro, this is Mexico. So this is real Mexico. So I love it. We went to the distillery. She was telling us that y'all making a brand, but y'all should really learn the process, everything. So they took us to the distillery. They took us out in the agave field. We chopped up the agave. They let us know it takes 7 years to make this, and so you got to take that into account. They took us to the process where you cut up the
piñas.
the piñas, the actual plant, from the cooking process to the distillery part, like to learn that. So if anyone can question this, like, nah, bro, we learned the process. We hands-on did the process with family-owned people who've been doing this 60, 70 years at a company. So our brand is people think you made it. Like we made it on Pennsylvania Avenue. We went in the warehouse and it's back on.
Right.
No, bro, we went to the same place with some of these high entertainers, actors, a real company, family-owned, who did the real brick oven cook process and made ours. We wanted ours to have that authentic Mexican taste. Other than the American tequilas and brands you used to, we said, listen, make it how you guys make it, because we wanted to be authentic. And they said, well, listen, we have a couple samples, a couple formats. Tell us how you want the palette, how you want the repo, how you want it. So we had a hand in every single profile and how it was made, and I think they did an incredible job making it.
And how'd you find that resource down there?
This guy, man, this the in-house guy. This the tech guy. This the guy, man, who found confirmation. I was more marketing, promotion, and once we get it. But he found the company, and they did a hell of a job. We have a great connection. We can call and talk to him. But when he was getting frustrated, when he was saying about the process, they on their time, Mexico. They on Mexican time. They on their own time. You one brand, bro. They saying, listen, we got 60, 70 brands.
Right.
You not getting no call back as soon as you leave a mess or this and that. You call 2-3 days later, hey, what you asked about? Yeah. And then once we get on that, we'll let you know. Then 2 weeks go by. And so he's thinking, I'm like, bro, they ain't on American service time.
Right.
So once we learned that, because I found it funny because there was a time when he was like, man, listen, whatever until we got, I'm over this shit. It's too much. It's too much. And by that time, I had sat back and said, I'm looking at the steps. I'm like, hell no, bro. We in there. You done did this, the lights permit this and that. Like, we're a brand now.
We ain't stopping now.
Like, nah, man, don't stop now. I can't say, because I'm not doing the work you're doing every day that computer does. So I understand his frustration. But I'm also seeing the fact that the label, everything, like, bro, we there now. You don't do this now. You set yourself up now to be successful. And the brand was on, but it was just at grind level, base level. But I seen that it was established, so I'm glad he stuck in there because we would never been where we at if he didn't.
Perfect teamwork. Los Hermanos, the brothers, right?
The brothers. And his wife, Candace, shout out to Candace. His wife, you know what I'm saying? So to know the brand is owned by your people, 2 people from Baltimore City, Anne Arundel County, who really have a brand that's owned, just started in 1 store in the pandemic to up to 240 locations, bar, restaurants in 6 states, bro. That ain't no small task, man. You know what I mean? And to find company, and like you said, the money, when we looked at the money, well, we need to get started, like he's saying, nah, bro, 20,000, we know that. Bro, we need 150,000. We need more like 150,000, more realistic. With the cost of the shipping and everything that came, and I understand one more thing. I understand his frustration with the brand, but at the same time, I'm like, bro, we was driving to Philadelphia to the store spot and getting our own cases and load them on the van and drive them back and get to the store. And once it started selling, we got to the point where like, we ain't got enough stock because the store's selling out. So now we learn the brand, but as you learn, as you grow and the brand grow, we start to learn things. Like we still learning, man. But one thing about connections, it has been a certain amount of people who reach out to us and say, yo, we got y'all back. We like what y'all doing. No. Come sit with us. Pronghorn, for example. I'll let him go deep on Pronghorn. Pronghorn is a company that has supports Black-owned business. So they got vodka, tequila, everything. But they came like, hey,
But
man.
they specialize in liquor and spirits.
So
Yeah.
it's an investment company that their whole goal is to raise $50 billion worth of revenue in the Black community. So they're specifically investing in Black-owned brands across the board. So they got different categories, whether it's whiskey, vodka, tequila. But yeah, that's what they do. And so,
Podcast, web series.
hey, go pitch some shit.
But you know, to see the potential, because if they try this now, probably can't do nothing with that, because that's what you're looking to hear a lot of times. And to hear them say, oh no, man, we love the story, we love the brothers part, we love how you guys started, the quality is there, this and that, and now, man, I'm walking into rooms I would never thought I'd be walking in rooms with certain people. You know, I'm walking there, like he said, the mayor, he there with the mayor's mother, Westmore mother in this room. The owner, the guy who runs BWI Airport, people from the Atlas Group, certain casino. And I'm just sitting in a different room, like, hey, what's up, William, this and that. And
You saw the growth, right?
Well, right after 5 years, after being in just 2 stores, we was in like 3 stores for about the first year. Like 1 store here, 1 in Foundry Row, and then DC was in 1 store in DC, Bernie's.
Chat's Liquor. Yeah, shout out to Chat.
Shout out to him. The first Black-owned bar on Capitol Hill.
Okay.
And like you say, now when you look at the location, I'm looking at the list, I can't even keep up with how many spots we're in. So the growth is there, man, and the support has been there. So it's still a learning process, but I'm loving it that it's happening.
I want to ask y'all a question. Because we get ready to take some sips, because we talked about that. You don't take shots of Los Hermanos, you sip it, right, for the club.
Sipping tequila.
So tell me that moment when y'all realized this is it. When you had that final taste and you stamped it and said, that's our tequila. How did you get to that point, if you remember that moment?
Well, we were sitting there, and when they do the tastings, they got 3 glasses of each in front. So they got 3 different Blancos, then they got 3 glasses of different Repos and 3 of the Nejo. So when we was tasting the first Blanco, we taste like all 3, and then it was like the first one. He was like, that first one? I like, yeah, that first one got that hit. And he was like, yeah. So when we got to the Repo, you know, it was like this was like the most aged one. Both of them were what you term out of those kind of light golds that you really see, probably 4 to 6 months. But the aged one had like a different hit. And tasting all 3, like he don't even drink like I drink. So it's surprising that he was like, nah, wait till you get to that second one. Cause I tasted the first and I got the second one. I was like, okay, that age tastes a little hit, the sweet and the smooth. It hit different. So we both agreed on it. And then, you know, we created the Neho later because we started with these two and we didn't have the Neho. But when I was doing the tasting, everyone who like more age was like, yo, when y'all gonna come out with a Neho? When it coming there? We working on it, just getting these two, bro. We just getting started.
Yeah.
But you know,
They're already checking for the next.
Yeah, they're already checking for the Neho. So fortunately, we was able to bring that out later. But you know, he can add to how he felt when he tasted it too.
So to give you some context, this is after we've done out spend our day with the farmers. This is after we walk the plants with the master distillers. They bring us up to the tasting room, and we're like, okay, bet this is what we came for. When we come to the room, they got 12-foot oak table, champagne flutes with the toppers on them. They got the plates next to them with
Beautiful
the coffee
room.
beans, the candy cheese, like a wine tasting. Right?
Just that moment, you had to feel a little bit.
Yeah, we're
beautiful.
like,
Yeah,
what? Like,
yeah.
we're like blown away. So when we're going through it, like you said, we go through the iterations and, you know, we did the Blanco, all right, cool, but the Reposado, that's what we came for. So when we get to the Reposado, I'm like, all right, bet, let's go to it. So when you're tasting it, first thing they tell you is, hold it by the bottom, right? Like, don't hold it by the stem because it warms up the tequila, right? So it has the top on it, you're holding it, and you're swirling it around, and you're looking at the notes, right? And then you lift the top up, and you can smell it, right? You get that aroma first before you taste it. And, you know, so the first time, you know, we tried the first one, it's all right, you know, that's cool. And my brother's sitting right here next to me. People from the distillery are sitting on this side, right? So we're going back and forth. So we get to the second one, same thing. You know, you pick it up, swirl it around, looking at the legs on it. I said, damn, this smell good, right? Like, so first time I tried it, I was like, whew. That was my first thing, right? And I'm smiling, they're smiling at me. I turned around my brother, he's smiling. I was like, yo, this is it. My brother was like, yo, like, that's good, let's try the third one. I'm like, nah, I need a third one. I like this one. They was like, yo, we tried it. I was like, all right, bro, let's try the third one. And we tried the third one, and the third one was good too. But I don't know if it's the fact that it was the third one, but it was just like, I had that genuine reaction off the second one. Like, I'm smiling organically, they're smiling, he's smiling. I was just like,
authentic, right?
Yeah, that organic thing. I was like, yo, that's the one. And so once we had the profiles, they was like, okay, you got your profiles. Now, they had a guy who's in charge of the raw materials. So he came out with like the paint thing, but it was like a book full of papers, like all the different kind of papers that you can go through and, you know, to pick your labels. And my brother, he's going through the thing and he's, you know, looking for the labels, the paper that he wants. And they have, at the back of the tasting room, they had this big cabinet, floor to ceiling, with like most of the brands that they produce. Not even most. I guess this is like their top ones that they produce, because this is probably like about 60 up there on this cabinet. And so we're looking at this and we're like, okay, we kind of like this one, we want that from that one, you know, on this paper we want, and we're going back with them, you know, telling them what they want. And so, all right, we got that done. They was like, all right, you know, pick your labels, break out the bottle catalog. We go through the bottles, you know, and again, part of the research, when I was cold calling people early 2020, right, I'm calling distributors, other brand owners, anybody pick up the phone for me. And at that time, people give me 30, 40 minutes on a cold call. I talked to a distributor in DC, and I'm just trying to figure out what's the process for him evaluating new brands. And he was like, yo, where are you in the process? I'm like, we haven't even started yet. And he was like, listen, when you get a bottle, if you want to be in DC, you're going to have to get something that's skinny, because it's more restaurants in DC than there's liquor stores. And so you want something that's going to fit on that rail. He said, because if your bottle doesn't fit on that rail, bartender's not going to mess with you.
An average person's not even going to think about that.
Right. And that's in my mind, because in my mind, I was thinking only all in a liquor store, something that looked good sitting on the shelf. And
Make space for my bottle.
Right. Once once he told me that, right? So now we're in Mexico, we're looking, in that catalog, I need something that's tall, something that's going to work. And so we put it all together, and they was like, okay, they was like, do you got a graphic designer that you're working with? And we're like, no, that's all right, we have somebody. So they was like, we'll get something to you, you know, probably like 48 hours. So we're like, all right, bet. It's like 1 o'clock, we're done with business. All right, we're going out to kill now. You know, we're going to have fun. Me and my brother, the driver and the photographer. We go have lunch in the city of Tequila in the town square. Then, you know, we being tourists. We going through, you know, look at the Cancerinos, and we're looking at different spots, and the photographer with us, Joe, still taking pictures and whatnot, and we just having a good time. And we stayed there probably till like to get dark. We get in the car going back up to Guadalajara, and the driver was like, yo, y'all want to hang out? I know some place we take you. Be like, shit, yeah, business done, let's go. And we pull up to this spot called El Garritos. Man, when I tell you this is the wildest spot, when you pull up, bro, it's like an indoor-outdoor spot. That shit like risky business. Yo, they got the bartenders back here. These niggas flipping bottles. They doing this shit right. Like, yo, they got little clay joints that's like pots that start from this big to like flower pot size. Depending on what you want, they just making drinks. They got the live band outside, the people playing. So, yo, we hanging out in the spot like, yo, this is dope, right? First time we're in Mexico. And I'll let my brother tell you how to, the next part of the story. But, yo, I'm just sitting here vibing, right? We just having a ball. And then we sitting around there, and then...
Yo, you a big fan of Narcos?
Yeah.
Narcos was a great show.
I'm gonna tell you
on
right now,
Netflix.
I didn't want to go, not to cut you off,
Yeah.
but hearing the story,
Right.
I'm thinking about those scenes from those movies like Narcos, the series, y'all showing up with the cartel to the product, and it's tequila, it's all legal, but that's how I'm kind of picturing it.
I'll have this story for me for the rest of my life.
Okay, break it down for us.
They already are mindful we are already in cartel country. Our guy let us know, like, you gotta be on point, bro, because we are here. Like, you know, this is cartel country. That's so cool, this and that. Being a guy from Baltimore, on the street side, so when I go to certain hoods and cities, it's a certain code, a certain vibe to the vibe with certain people, and I always had that, so I don't have that kind of fear. Like, whatever them people and you that kind of dude, they gonna respect
It's a mutual
that.
respect.
Right. So we sitting there, and like you said, it's outdoor spot. Mind you, it's no street lights, because we're in the middle of the desert. So other than the roof and where you at, it's open, but all that road out there, you can't see nothing. It's pitch black dark. So we saying to ourselves, yeah, somebody grabs you right here, ain't nothing you can do. Ain't nothing you can do.
Los Hermanos is gone.
You going for that ride. Ain't nothing you can do. No police, you going for that ride. So we sitting there, and it's a couple guys there, a couple Mexican women, pretty chicks. And the girls come over there, tag me this and that, like, hey, my boyfriend want us to take a picture with you. So I'm like, I got it on my phone. So two girls, kind of bad Mexican girl, pretty. So I'm taking pictures with him, and he's sitting there, and I'm looking at him. He got on jeans, hat, just like you, shades, sneakers, like a yo boy. Like, he dressed like, so he like, yo, she like, he like your vibe. He just want to meet you that he don't really speak. So I understand what you're saying, bro. It's fair. He like, yo, cool. So he go to my guy who's driving. He said, tell him I want him to follow me Instagram. So I see when he get a phone to our drive, he like, no, he go along with it, you know what I mean? We all sitting there. So he like, what's up, bro? He like, man, I'll tell you later. Just eat your food, man. Have your drinks, whatever. So we all get in the van. We ready to pull off. So he like, yeah, man, your goddamn brother, man. He want to make friends with the goddamn IRU. So I like, what's that? He like, the goddamn cartel. I like, Ray. He like, yeah, man. So when I look at the guy profile page, he got the Mexican flag behind him, and he's smoking a blunt with a ski mask on his head. And that's his profile. So I'm like that. So I never hit follow, because we try to do business. So the last thing I need hit, and then we follow, and I be the one messing up. No, y'all can't hit me, yo. But just to tell you how cool that was for me, bro, that experience to shake with those people and to get out there, like, for Baltimore kid, that was a crazy experience, but it was crazy.
Would y'all say that added fuel to the fire? Because everything, it sounds like it was authentic. It would have been an experience to me that would have motivated me more.
Right.
Did that motivate y'all? Was that like it?
To me,
was it real?
It wasn't about the motivation. Like, it was just like that was an authentic life experience. Like, you sitting there watching Narcos, but you down here meeting them. Ain't too many people say they might rap about it, talk about it, but you really met one of the dudes and cool. So that was just an added experience to know. I met him that way, and not with a bag on my head getting in the van. I met him with a mutual cool.
And he had a page, social media.
Yeah, a whole bro that had a Mexican flag, ski mask on his face, smoking the
Fellas,
blunt.
the anejo is delicious, man.
Thank you.
I gotta tell
Thank you. That
forgive
anejo is really that.
Forgive the cheap cup, but I'm sipping right now.
It's smooth. Asia year and age probably.
I can see myself sipping on this in an iconic live downtown.
Right.
One of the spots. We're gonna talk about positioning and where we're going from here.
Sure.
But one of my quick questions is, how much money did you spend before you made money?
So let me I'll say this. People always ask me, they want to get in this business, they want this. If you're looking to get in this business, make money, you better go find something else to do.
You told me it's not for the what?
It's not for the faint of heart.
Okay.
This is definitely one of these businesses where it's going to take you're not going to start seeing a profit until year 6, year 7, right? Like that's the way the trajectory is.
You won't see a profit until year 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
5 years in is that make or break mark where you kind of start bending that curve. So in the meantime, in the day to day, you got to be out here hustling to different stores, events, restaurants, and you got to be crying.
So
and you got to
you
bring in
can't
capital.
quit your day job.
Not at all.
Hell no.
All right. So I can't quit my day job and just go rock out to Mexico and come back with a bottle.
I mean,
If you already a millionaire, you already got
Right.
200-300
You got some
grand.
funding. You got some
to
funding
play
behind you
with.
then-
Yeah,
yeah.
you can, but not
just-
not how we started.
it
No,
ain't going to be
sir.
like flipping T-shirts or something like that.
Oh,
or the kind of
no.
business where, you might pay 500 in and then you going to sell this. All right, now you got 750. Then we go flip this. And no, it don't work that way at
No.
all.
So before we shift gears and talk about all the good fun stuff that's coming up and promotion, 1 or 2 pitfalls that came along in the early stages that you really thought, like, man, this is gonna be hard to come back from. Did anything stand out?
To me, it was the lack of funding, man. Like when I first seen the invoice on what a couple cases cost, or 300-400 cases, I'm like, damn, how we gonna do that every time? And then an order, you think you put in the order and they be here next month? This that? Hell no, it might be 2-3 months just getting the order together, and now you running out of money because you selling out the case because it's doing good. But now to come up, okay, you need another 40 or $50,000 for this next order, and then you put all the money to order, but the order 3 months in, they still getting paperwork together, permits. You like, bro, that was 3 months ago.
Yeah.
I'm checking with bro. He like, no, man, they just putting it together. So then after 3 months of waiting to put it together, maybe now it's sitting now. Okay, you can tell your people now they got set that up to go get it from Mexico to the Texas side to the thing. So one of the pitfalls I was thinking was like funding, because that had me a little worried. Like, damn, we started this, but we ain't got the back, and never knew we knew that kind of funding. So the finance part was for me probably one of the biggest pitfalls. So,
And I'm gonna tell you something that recently, not even early on, but recently. So initially, when you come to the distillery that we work with, specializes in small brands. So they would source everything for you, right? So the glass bottles, labels, everything. They would go through their vendors and they would source everything for you. So we have run into a problem where we always have a problem with the labels. And so, we're going back and forth with them for almost a year, back and forth with the labels. After a while, I was just like, all right, listen, this is crazy. So January, I went down there to talk to them, like, listen, we need to figure something out because this ain't working. And they told us at a certain point in time, brands usually bring everything in-house and they do it themselves. They just do it because, they work with early stage brands. Okay, bet. So they turned over their list of suppliers for me. We got our own thing. So now we're doing custom bottles. We're doing everything ourselves. So instead of the company they were using in Mexico, I decided to go to a company in Ohio. Really good company. They produce for Uncle Nearest, a few other people, right? All right, it's quality. Paid the guy $4,000 to do the labels.
For those people who don't know about Uncle Nearest, talk about that.
Yeah.
Just real quick.
Really quick.
Backdrop.
If you don't know about Uncle Nearest, get it from underneath what I rock you under. But Uncle Nearest is a black-owned brand that's out of Shelby, Tennessee. Fawn Weaver started this brand based off the story that Nearest Green was the one who told taught Jack Daniels how to distill whiskey. Mm-hmm. And of course, because of that time, black man couldn't own anything, so Jack Nearest took it and ran with it. But they really they had a really good relationship. So as Jack Daniels continued to grow, they would hire Nearest's Green family to come work with them. And so even to this day, they're still descendants of Nearest Green that work with Jack Daniels, even though a lot of them came over to work with the Uncle Nearest brand.
For you kids watching, that's a good quick history lesson.
So the short of the story is, I paid this guy $4,000 to do the labels. He get the labels done. He shipped them down to Mexico. Meanwhile, right, like we're running low on inventory, but I got an order coming. So the distiller told me my bottling date is July 17th. I said, all right, great. I sent them the UPS tracking numbers. Here you go. Here's the tracking number. Let me know when to get there. So I check in early July. I see it got delivered. All right, great. You got it. You got the labels. When's my bottling date? So your bottling date is end of the month. I can't remember exactly, but it's the end of July. Okay, bet. So 2 days after my bottling date, I sent them an email to check in. It says, hey, I just want to check on order. How's it go? They said, we haven't got your labels. What you mean you ain't got my labels? It already showed us delivered. They said, oh, sorry, maybe you go check my operations because maybe that's a mistake. And they came back, said, no, we don't have your labels. What do you mean? This shit says delivered. So we go back and look at the tracking information. The label's held up in customs. What we didn't know at that time was you can't ship anything directly from the U.S. into Mexico. You have to have a customs broker to bring it across the border and then ship it from inside of Mexico. So, oh my God. So now I'm like, what? So
It's crazy.
I called a label company.
Like the average
lot,
man gave up years ago.
Yeah,
The distillery tells me, yeah, you got to get a customs broker. So I called the customs broker we use. He said, I can get it, but it's going to be expensive. He said, we've seen this before it happens. Of course. All right. Go get my labels, man. Meanwhile, now we're out of stock. So mind you, we're in 6 markets. We got distributors. We got distribution from New York, New Jersey, Maryland, D.C., Delaware, and Atlanta. Everybody's calling me, when's this next order coming? When's this next order coming? Right?
They want it.
They want it. We ain't got it. So I'm like, all right, man. So the 2-3 days go by, custom broker was like, yo, yeah, man, I can't get it. So I go back to the distillers like, yo, what options do we got? They said, well, you can try our custom broker. Go back to this guy. He said, I can get it, but it's going to be expensive. All right, man, what does it look like? He said, send me all the paperwork and I'll let you know. Send him all the paperwork. Dude go to
That's
UPS.
how you know it ain't cheap.
Dude come back and says, it's cost you $4,000 to get your labels.
Okay.
So mind you now, I spent $4,000 with UPS on this label company and I got paid this guy $4,000 to get it. So that's $8,000 I'm out for fucking labels.
But you know he probably doubled up on you because he knows you need it.
What's the options, right? The other options is I'm gonna have to wait 2 weeks for the company to reprint it again and ship it and then pay a custom broker anyway and get there, right? Meanwhile, I got people that's out of stock, right? Distributors are looking for it. People are calling, banging my phone. Like, when is the order coming in? You know, we trying to move. So I really got a choice. Yo, suck it up, pay this dude. And so like, these are some of the challenges that's like, yo, these type of things, that's what I'll say at the end of the day. In addition to, it's not like you have a one-off problem here and there. It's consistent pressure.
Okay.
You got to be able to deal with that pressure. That you got salespeople that's looking for your product. You got your distributors are looking for it, retailers. You got people that know you, right? Hey, I went to the store, I can't find it. So you got all these different people calling you, looking for it when you don't have it, right? So this is like some of the ongoing pressure that you got to be able to deal with. In addition to just being out here at events, so doing this or doing that. Like, so that's one of the things that really took a long time for me to kind of level set and deal with. Like, okay, this is what the normal is going to be. Because in the beginning, like, it was driving me crazy. I got to deal with this, I got to deal with that, man. Like, especially for somebody who, like me, who was an introvert, that really don't deal with the public like that, or really deal with people like, oh my God.
So for me, guys, right, spirits to me and alcohol and liquor, whatever you call it, it always comes off with like a pitch or a big brand behind it, right? Growing up, I drank Ciroc because I saw Diddy. No, that's a sensitive topic right now, but back in the day, you know, promoted the hell out of Ciroc.
Right.
And a lot of the drinks that we drank going to the club, like I remember when T-Pain had Nouveau in his hand, I tried that nasty shit. So I was always part of the marketing. And I think a lot of people follow me. So, not to put you on the spot, but I am. What was your first major successful pitch to get your bottle and your brand into a business? Do you remember that? Like what you guys did to pitch it, who it was with?
That's a good question.
So,
Like you got your bottle, it's packaged, you ready to go. What was your pitch and who was it to? Your first major one?
All right, so one, other again, said we got lucky that we got distribution right off the rip. So we really didn't have to do a lot of pitching, or myself.
Okay.
Like my brother was going out here and he went to pitch people. I wasn't gonna do it. I let the distributor do it because that's what they get paid for. But
So you had distributors and their salespeople, like you were telling me, to do that part.
We had distribution here. We launched the brand in August of 21 in Maryland. We had distribution in September of 21, right? So we had, the distributor had the salespeople on it. My first major pitch was to our investor, Pronghorn.
Okay.
So literally, I've never pitched anybody in my life, but I kept hearing about Pronghorn, what they were doing, and they was new, they was starting. And I was just like, yo, somebody got this kind of money out here and they're looking for black-owned brands. Let me go figure out how I can be a part of that. Like,
Let me get some of this money.
Right, I need to get this money. And literally, I found that they were going to be at this event in Detroit. Never been to Detroit in my life. I don't know anybody in Detroit. I booked the ticket, flew my ass out of Detroit. I got one backpack with some clothes and 2 bottles in it. Literally, I'm at the event and I don't know anybody there, right? Nobody got lanyards on the names, so you don't know who's who. But I'm talking to a lady and I was just like, yo, who's here from Pronghorn? Because I don't know. And she was like, you looking for Pronghorn? Like, yeah. She was like, oh, but the VP of Finance is right here. Oh, what?
You don't say.
Put me on the spot. And the guy turned around, look, whatever. Hey, bro, how you doing? Da 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 da. Pitched the guy right there on the spot. So the guy gave me his call. I was like, all right, man, let's keep it touching. Nah, bro, I ain't leaving like that. I got 2 bottles for you. Take that home. Da da da. That was September of 22. We ended up getting our first investment in March of 23.
Wow.
Just
Wow.
like that. That was the first big pitch I ever had.
That's impressive. So we back home in Baltimore, right? Obviously, we want to make sure we blow up at home. And I've talked to a lot of people that own businesses, restaurants, you know, clubs and that nature. What's your vision now? Like, what are your next steps? Where do you envision your brand going? And what are some of the next, I guess, businesses you want to partner with?
Well,
Or is that something that you think about?
no, we have some guys from the Orioles camp because you know Raven State and the Orioles State would be major for us.
100%.
Absolutely, but we are and have been in talks with some people who work at the Orioles Stadium side. You know, Pickles Pub and guys who different spots and radio promotion. And one of the Ripken sons was we talking to him like to potential be like a brand ambassador. Now the only thing with that is great, but with them, this package costs this much. This pack costs this much. If I played for the Ravens, it wouldn't be a thing. If I played for the Orioles, but for us, you know what I'm saying, we don't have 20 or 30,000 just for you to do that campaign. But the fact that we even had people from the Orioles organization, the radio station, even hitting us and banging out lines, saying, hey man, well, how would you like this promotion to the package? Or can you handle this? You want to work with us and that? So it's on the cusp. So from that first year to that fifth year, being in one store to being on the cusp where though you got people saying, well, we can get you in the stadium or we can get you in pickles, this and that. We're on the cusp of something great. So the anticipation kind of eats me up, not being there, you know, after 5 years, but the fact that you even have those kind of people considering you to say, hey, you know, I can get such and such Ripken to be your guy, then WBL Radio, that sports channel, you know, we can have you on that. So that audience is next because our people support and show love too. But
And that's what I was going to say. We was talking about that, and we got to support
Right.
our own because
Right,
I want to
right,
know where I can find Los Hermanos.
Right.
And those watching the Climbback series are going to want to know where can I get the opportunity to taste this tequila.
Right.
And you had mentioned before we went live that, like, unfortunately, like, our own tends to kind of put us through
Right,
a little bit more.
right.
So talk about that.
what they do, because I don't blame them too much because I understand people have been programmed to look at everything a certain way on a certain spectrum.
Because of
period.
marketing, yeah.
Of marketing, that's just us. But one thing I hate, and you would think, all right, our people, you got somebody local from your city, made a successful tequila brand. It should be the #1 tequila in the city. Like, this is what we drinking now, you know what I mean?
I agree.
Don't hold your core. I said, but no, them black boys from here, they got an award-winning tequila that's good. We ain't buying it because it's them. It's black owned and it's great and it's award-winning. So that should be the #1 tequila in Baltimore City. But our people, you know, we love name brand stuff. Oh, I love that Gucci, I love that Don. That's all I'm messing with. So we not even looking at that. So when we deal with a lot of restaurants, like DC area, PG since we came out, have shown us love in so many bars and restaurants.
Shout out to my hometown.
No, flat out, just because, oh, y'all black on y'all, bro, man, bring that down here. And you go down there a week later, you're in restaurants, you're on the shelf, you're in a drink. Here, Baltimore tough. If you ever try to make it in music, clothes, everything, you already know it's a tough city, period. Buy anything that ain't recognized, if it ain't Polo, if it ain't name brand, it's hard getting on.
It's almost like you got to be handled like this is what you need right here.
Right. So now as we doing it, you know, we trying to get in certain bars and restaurants local, and they look at that like, you know, come by, call me and we'll set something up, this and that. Never come through, hardly ever come through, this and that. So that was disappointing. And then, you know, my brother was like, you know what? We'll come back for them later. We ain't letting that start the movement. Because you go in certain spots in Canton, Federal Hill, this and that, and man, you meet the owner, they bring you right in, they taste, you sit down with the owner, and you go back, like you say, it's on the bar, and it's doing good, but our people, skeptical. Because, you know, I don't know how it's going to do. It's a black brand, this and that. I'm like, man, it's a black-owned brand. You know the people. It should go on the shelf regardless.
Right.
Just because, and if you try it and it's quality, man, we doing it. We don't know how it's going to do, but that's not all has been the case. So it's been tough, you know, to have to face that. People don't want to try to get your brand. But like you say, we're just going to keep growing the brand. And as it expands and get bigger, then a lot of them reach back like, damn, man, I seen y'all on the news. I seen y'all on Enterprise Magazine. I seen you on Abdi Magazine. Bro, we got an article in Abdi Magazine.
Talk about it, man.
Where they show some of the top black-owned brands. And once it hit me, I showed my son. He was like, yo, no, that ain't real. I like, bro, this is real. They got Steph Curry wine in his wine. They got Russell Wilson and Sierra's vodka. And they got 2 other wine. And like 7 or 8 Los Hermanos tequilas, William Dante. So I'm looking at them like, bro, really? We in an article with Steph Curry and his wife and this and that?
Tell them what publication it is, because that's important.
100%.
It ain't just the Baltimore Business Journal or something
No,
local.
this is Ebony.
Ebony Magazine.
Ebony Magazine.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, because Pete told me about you
Ebony
guys
Magazine.
when we first started the Climbback series
Right.
last year. And he talked about you like 8 months ago.
Right.
And it wasn't like we were looking past you. I was always interested to
Right.
have this conversation because I was expecting it to be phenomenal as it is. But I slept on the process because it sounds like it could be easy, but this is not easy at all. This is not. No play.
And like bro say, when people, this one thing for all the black people, I need y'all to stop with this shit. Stop with this, really. None of y'all never met Don Julio. Never. You never got a free bottle. You've been buying bottles for him for years. You never got a free bottle of Patron. You never got a free bottle of Casamigos, but you spent money with him, ain't had no problem with that. Our people. Oh boy, y'all on now. I know I can get a bottle. Yeah, at the store. Like we down here with the money. You spend the money with the people who millionaires and billionaires. You never got a free bottle of Casamigos.
And half the time we spend it for clout just to say we spent this for this bottle.
And you will spend it, but you got people who will call me, man, and say, bro, boy, I know, want to get my bottle, and boy, I'll never do this again, because it is close people who we close with fans.
Of course.
And if I do got a bottle, and they're like, you the owner, I'm gonna sign one, and I got you. But if you tell somebody black, not all of them, some other people that I got a bottle for you. Oh my God, boy, they bang your line when you see you at the market. Yeah, I'm still waiting on my bottle. Bro, I mean, when I say I got it, I mean I got you. When I get to it, I got you for a bottle. But why should we give free bottles out? They expect you to give free bottles out or give it away. Like, nah, this shit costs money, time and effort. Like, it costs. Like, why you can't buy it? Like, because we do got a core fan base. Shout out to y'all. I love y'all that supports. They go to cookouts, they go to bars, and they buy like they grab anything off the shelf like they supposed to and show love. So it is a tremendous fan base that's been founded since day one to support, buy, and put on the shelf. But you always got those few people that think, boy, I done bought 2 bottles, boy, and with the third one supposed to be on the house.
Right.
like buy because you rock with us. But
and that's the common message that I've run into with a lot of people that I've interviewed on the Climbback series.
Right.
Like, I get it, I love the compliment, but pay me. Like we are business. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
No. Right? If I go to a certain restaurant and this black on this and that, after that third plate or my third time there, I can't say, boy, I've been here 3 times. You know?
You take some
I got rewards. I got rewards.
Yeah, ain't no rewards points, man. So I mean, stop that, man. To start looking at it as a quality brand and be proud, like, damn, no. 2 black dudes from here, family owned, even the wife. Got a quality owned award-winning tequila, and look at it when you buy it. You spend $50, yeah, you spend on some quality, man. Like, you know what I mean? And help us grow, help us get to the spot with Don Julio. Support us like you support them. Everywhere you go, every time you go into a bar, party, buy that bottle, that Los Hermanos, that black-owned brand, man. And once we get to that part, yeah, we can have a get-back party.
Yeah.
A get-back party.
Yeah.
Come on out to Icon. Shout out to Tracy Icon. We're looking for you.
100%. We're gonna come talk to you, Tracy.
Yeah. You know, now we can have a big Los Hermanos party, and you can come and there's drinks on the house or mixed drinks for a discounted price because you help us build to get to that part. But let us get there first.
Yeah, 100%.
No doubt.
I respect that.
So let me follow up to say where we're shooting it, right? So we're not shooting this at a random place. We're at the Renaissance Hotel down in Baltimore on Pratt Street at the Harbor because this is an account that we have, right? And it wasn't us coming to pitch into this account. I got a call from the general manager that says, hey, I heard about you guys. Why aren't you in my hotel? Right? It's those type of things. We've been able to achieve as much success as we had because there were a lot of people out there seeing what we do and says, how can we help you? How can we help you? Hey, let's get in contact. I think we can help you do this. people open their doors to us.
And if y'all don't know where we're sitting, we're not sitting at the Motel 6.
Not at all.
We are not, and that was one thing I was excited about too, because preparing us for this conversation, all of a sudden we were on an email thread with the Harbor Place Renaissance Hotel. I said, P. Foolie, this is gonna be a little different. We got some businessmen that are serious about promoting their brand, and it just gets me excited. Again, I'm nobody, but I'm somebody.
Absolutely.
But we all want to see everybody
Appreciate
win.
y'all,
We want to see each other win. And my plan and my goal is to see your bottle at Noel Restaurant, right? At an event at Iconic Live. Shout out to Tracy. We love you very much. When Gucci comes into town next time and they get in their tables and we can have a feature with Los Hermanos. So that's what it's all about. And everybody in Baltimore and DC like to party.
Come on, man.
We in one of the biggest party areas in the country, in the world.
BWI is our airport, right? That's what we at. So think about, we a contract away and a step away from being in BWI.
That's crazy.
When you walk past you waiting on your flight, you can go and say, oh, damn, let me get a shot of you on that tequila. Man, when I see, one of my moments I had when I was at Total Wine, I was with my son, I was like, it was Kevin Hardrink, it was Terramana, and it was Al Tequila on the show.
Wow.
So my son yeah, the rock stuff, cool, mine right next to the rocks. So my son yeah. But it's fact.
Hey.
I ain't lying, right? It's fact. You saying it, right? So I like to talk to them because from the t-shirt process to the hoodie process, I always talk to both my kids. Like, this what we doing, this what we building. So they see it and they see it. But as you talk to your kids, and sometimes you talk, and if you don't do a kid, like, yeah, he said he gonna do this, he gonna say that. He can sit back like, damn, no, year 5, I seen you on channel 11, I seen you on channel 13. Here you go on an interview with the newsman, and y'all at the airport, you at the casino, you at the hotel. So that part is just sitting on the shelf next to certain people, and even at the store when we did the tasting, $100 bottle of Neho and Don Julio at the top. So bro, don't call me telling me about, boy, I ain't paying this. Okay, well, the store owner said this, go ahead. He put hands up there with the $100 bottle.
But I'm telling you, it's got the quality that stands next to every other brand that you name. And I'm not just sitting here saying that because y'all are on the show.
Right.
I'm sitting here sipping it with no chaser, no ice.
Smooth,
delicious,
good.
man. And
you leaning a little bit too, man.
And I'm fine. I'm not driving, so don't judge me.
I'm messing with
I might be, but here's the thing. It's about positioning. I don't know if I came up with that word for this type of product, but in my opinion, it's about positioning. Like, put it out there, get it in front of the right faces, the right people, which is what I want this series to do as well.
I appreciate y'all,
because
man.
I'm telling you right now, if you like tequila and you haven't tried Los Hermanos, you ain't drinking the right tequila, man. Get with it. This brand is going to be huge. I'm excited to see where it goes from here. Is there anything that I missed? Is there anything else that you want to promote about the brand itself? And then we can talk about where we can find you.
Gotcha. Yep. So what I would tell people, Los Hermanos has won 30 awards in 3.5 years on the market. We've debuted or showcased our brand in Bar Convent in Berlin, which is the largest spirit convention in the entire world. Berlin, Germany. Me and my brother, we did that last year, where we're the only Black-owned brand in the place.
So y'all hear this? This is not your backyard brand, man.
We're talking about the biggest stage in the world. We're the only Black-owned brand there that's not backed by celebrities. My wife and I, last year, we did a Day of the Dead celebration in Tequila, Mexico. And I want to tell people just, again, about the difference. When you talk about quality and you're talking about positioning, our distillery produces about 200 brands. They had a Day of the Dead celebration in the city of Tequila. They got 27 spots. They reached out to us personally and says, hey, we want you guys to be down here to be a part of our celebration to showcase what we're doing. Absolutely, we went down there. I had Mexican people in the city of Tequila to tell me this tequila was some of the best tequila they've ever tasted. I said from then on, I don't need validation from nobody else. You can't get no higher praise than Mexican people who live in the city of Tequila. Where tequila is made.
Why would they lie to you?
Right?
Right?
We got it. And of course,
right.
I was like, yo, I need that for my Instagram. Like, we're not gonna let that go because that's not a small thing.
Yeah.
And again, right, we're there. We've been, whether it's in New York, in Brooklyn, whether it's in Atlanta at a Tacos and Tequila event, Germany, every place we've been, where the small brands or big brands, people consistently tell us this is some of the best tequila they've ever had. So I'm like, at the end of the day, that's why I don't feel that need, like, that we got to go beat down doors to pay people. Like, All I'm asking for is a fair shot. You give us a shot, you try, you like it, cool. If you don't, it's no problem. But we've known, again, we've grown this thing from one account to over 200 accounts in 6 states, 30 awards, less than 3 years. We've got features from Black Enterprise. We on the cover of Black Enterprise. We've got Ebony. It was somebody else that recently.
All the local spots, Baltimore
Drop your
Newspaper,
names,
Baltimore
Sun.
Business Journal, the Baltimore Times, the Washington Informer just reached out to us.
Okay.
We did WJZ. Actually, WJZ just called us. Said they want us to do the morning show with them this Friday for National Margarita Day.
Like, again, I started the Climbback series along with P and Foolie because...
What's the name?
Foolie.
Foolie.
Nico.
P. Behind the scenes, baby girl. Shout out to y'all, the cameraman behind the door, P, y'all too, man. Y'all doing a great job, man. I love the fact y'all had us here, man. I appreciate you guys, man. They behind the scene, but they here, man. Shout out to the Climbback series, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Much love to y'all, fam. Without a doubt.
Behind the scenes, but it wouldn't be nothing without them. And that's the thing
Absolutely.
about me. Like, I love my team and everybody that I've had an opportunity to have these conversations with. I think it's profound and it's going to uplift everybody, both of us and the community, because a lot of these conversations, shout out to P, came from Baltimore. You know, we talked to a lot of important people, and I'm going to drop their names from the Stokies to the Chantel Greens.
Chantel, shout out.
Shout out to Chantel. We love you,
girl.
Chantel, doing big things. And Tracy Icon, you know, Tony Noir, we're going to come see you. We're going to bring the bottles. We're going to have some functions. Shout out to John Cashland, because I know that fashion show's coming up. We'll have a nice presentation.
Yeah,
so,
Bruce.
Yeah.
I need you to get me in there with John Bruce. Yeah, I need
Like,
you
we
to get me
doing
in
big
cash
things. We doing big things from Baltimore specifically, man. You know I love my hometown, DC. It's coming soon to home as well. But is there anything that I'm missing?
Shout out
Go
to
ahead and
DC.
plug, promote.
No,
Where
man.
can we find the bottles?
Tequila Los Hermanos.
See,
Show
we
the
sipping
website.
now. Where we gonna find it?
I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So again, you can find us at tequilaloshermanos.com. You can find it, again, right there on the website. It's a store locator. They'll tell you anywhere you can find it. All you got to do is put in your zip code. It'll say it was close to us.
We in all the Total Wines.
We're in the Total Wines. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. And you can Google us. And again, I tell people all the time, if you want Los Hermanos and it's not somewhere that's close to you, all you got to do is ask for it. Whether it be your local restaurant, your local liquor store, all you got to do is ask for it. They'll reach out to us and we'll bring it in. It's that easy.
The Climbback series brought to you by Los Hermanos. This is the tequila of the Climbback series, everybody. This is one of my favorite conversations, man. Not because I'm a little tipsy, but because this was it.
That good stuff gets you down there with you,
And
bro.
I'm telling y'all, man,
No
like,
doubt.
I had a feeling that this was going to be one of my favorites. I've been saying that a lot now. But the conversations are phenomenal, man. Who else can you sit down with that's done what you've done? You know, and I'm going to give you your flowers now. Because I know it's going to be a huge tequila brand. It's already big.
Right.
So I just appreciate you allowing me to be a part of your journey, myself, P, Nico, because I'm gonna look back at this and just remember this conversation and see your bottle at that next big function and be like, my guys, my man, you know, the Henson brothers, man.
When you see that next late big interview after you, remember we charge.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I want to add one more thing too.
Of course.
Because again, this business is all about relationships, all about partnerships. And I want to shout out to our newest business partners, RS Yacht Club.
Shout out to RS Yacht Club.
Yes, indeed. First black lady-owned yacht club in Baltimore.
Wow.
Dock right down here at the Peninsula. So if you know about Baltimore, you know everything that's new, up and coming, that's popping, is happening down at the Peninsula. She's docking right there right now. We got a big partnership with them that we can come. So again, you will see Los Hermanos, RS
We
Yacht
do the
Club or
yacht
something.
interview.
We need
On
to
the
do
yacht
that.
interview.
Part 2, we on the yacht.